today speaking with Brian as we begin this chapter book, this first chapter entitled The Phone Call. So, Brian, why do you remember where you were when the phone call came?
Well, that moment is forever burned in my memory of where I was and what time of the day it was. So it was a Monday evening, and we got about 6 inches of snow that morning. And I'd taken the morning off and was working from home primarily. And my wife and I, Shirley, we were going to be doing our taxes later that afternoon. So we ended up, it was about an hour's drive where we get our taxes done, and got our taxes done, and we decided to celebrate the evening, and we went out for dinner after our taxes were done. And so I was there I was there waiting on our food, and I got a voicemail from my office phone that forwards to my cell phone. And it was a number I didn't recognize, and I thought, well, while we're waiting there on the food, I'll just listen to what the message was. And the caller identified himself from the state attorney's office and a special agent with the state attorney's office, and of course that had my full attention. Listened to the message and indicated that one of our laptops was confiscated and being held as evidence by the state attorney's office. And then I'm supposed to give a call as soon as possible. At this point in time, I knew nothing, absolutely nothing. So, it was then, I tried calling back immediately and was not successful. He was not available, and so I was just hanging in limbo. And so we ate our hurried dinner and headed home, and again, it was about an hour's drive home. And it was then I got a phone call from our local Mennonite school, and a board member called me, and the exact question posed to me was, "So Brian, how do you want to play this?" And I had no idea what they were talking about. And I mean, I figured it was related to the earlier message, but I knew no details. And so then that board member informed me what had happened, and that indeed there was an arrest with multiple felonies involved, and involving an employee and a credentialed member of our leadership team. And the reason they were calling is our employee was also, who was being charged, was also a basketball coach at their school. And so this involved the entire student body and patrons, and they needed to do a communication as well, and wanted to coordinate this together, not get ahead of us and our communication. And so that's how it was disclosed to me exactly what was happening. So that's forever burned in my memory.
Yeah. So what were your initial reactions, or what did you do in those first frantic 4 hours?
Yeah, I tell you, Abby, it's I've been involved in quite a number of death notifications already in my ministry, and this shock of this phone call is at the top of the list. Totally unprepared for the significance of how this single phone call would change my day, my life, my week. I remember that very well. The first number of hours, once I needed confirmation, because at this point it was second person. And in the meantime then, until we got back home, I did get a call from the special agent, and I also called a family member of the perpetrator, and called a family member, and they confirmed. In the meantime, then the special agent called and confirmed as well. So that just set into motion, conversations, asking the special agent, so what do we need to prepare for? And the next 24 hours, what what is it we need to brace ourselves for? And so that was really, really helpful, helpful conversation. It was also a reality check that this is going to be really, really tough. So the most immediate thing I did was informed my elder team. I knew they were having, several of them were in a committee meeting that night. I knew they were, so one phone call connected with a number of them right then and there. Informed them what limited information I had at that point. And then informed my leadership team, and then began the work of preparing for what lie ahead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And after all that, how were you feeling when you went to bed that night?
Yeah, it was a sleepless night. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really was. Very difficult, very restless. Sleep, it was like after receiving a death notification, that sleep simply just will not come. Mm-hmm. So your mind is just running and thinking of all the what ifs and what are the things we didn't think of yet, to prepare for the next day. So it was just a lot of anxiety, incredible anxiety and concern, and what is this going to look like these next 24, 48, 72 hours? What does this mean for the church? What does this mean for our witness? What does this mean for our future, frankly?
Yeah, those are all very critical hours, and so many decisions can change. Each of those decisions can change everything that comes after that, and so we'll get to talk more about those in the coming chapters, but thanks for sharing